Galloway.
That speech, much of this debate, and this budget demonstrates the parallel universe in which the governing class in this country are living. Earlier in the debate, nearly 4 hours ago, feels like 4 days, we had the full vaudeville, the full music hall treatment. They chanted and they chortled and they laughed, how they laughed until their tummies wobbled about the state we're in. But there were some funny moments, genuinely funny moments, Mr. Deputy Speaker. The funniest of which was when the Secretary of State said that the budget had sowed the seeds of growth and jobs. In this bleak midwinter, which has now frozen out the spring, in the very month in which 4,000 grandmothers and grandfathers froze to death in Britain, in 2013, the very month in which millions of our citizens had to make a choice between eating and turning on their heating. The Secretary of State believes this budget sowed seeds for growth and jobs. No seeds can grow in this climate. The honourable and right honourable gentleman opposite should know. The truth is that this budget, produced by a cabinet of millionaires, governing in its own interest and the interests of a very narrow class, has lost the confidence of the country. Indeed, the political system, political class as a whole, has lost the confidence of the people, who see their own situation with mass unemployment, poverty stalking the land. If I take Bradford, my own constituency, as an almost perfect example, youth unemployment has tripled in 2 years. 1 in 8 is unemployed. Our child poverty statistics are the second worst in the country. Our schools are the third worst in the country. Our hospitals are the 7th worst in the country. Our young people walk the shuttered up streets without education, training or jobs. And the government and others in the media cry surprise when the devil finds work for their idle hands. The government has done nothing for Bradford. The budget does nothing for Bradford because Bradford is entirely beyond their ken. Do I know where it is? I'm the person who just 1 year ago won a landslide election result, a by-election of historic proportions. And I defeated your party precisely because you think that yah-boo politics of this type is sufficient to meet the gravity of this situation. Come to your seat and join the debate. Here's the truth of the matter, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Our country is in grave danger. It is a country on the slide which can't keep its pensioners warm in the winter time, but can fly around the world setting fire to other people's countries, apparently at the drop of a hat. It's a country that cannot pay for its young people's education without charging them £9,000 a year to take shelter from the economic winds and study at universities, thanks to the betrayal of the yellow Liberal Democrats opposite me. It's a country which cannot afford. And I've only 15 seconds left. Do you know, Mr. Deputy Speaker, how many times in this House, just this afternoon, the word immigrant, foreigner, alien, foreign migrant has been mentioned? There's no U-turn by the government. but there's no deviation to the right so low that they won't make.
George.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. And it's, of course, a pleasure to